So this last week I took a few days off from work because I needed to get away, and I came up to see my parents, which is where I am right now. By Google Maps it's about 4.5 hours away from me, but I made pretty decent time. I got up here in about 3 hours. This might not come as a shock to you, but I'm not really a city person. I am more a country person. Further away from humans is much preferable for me. Whenever it gets time for me that I need a rest, that I need to get away, this is where I always think about coming into the mountains, because when I get past Abbotsford and Chilliwack and I'm driving along the number 1, when I veer off and instead of taking the Coquihalla, I take the Crow's Nest Highway. When I veer off, there's like this weight that is lifted off of my shoulders, and this peacefulness just comes over me. Like, it's just like I can breathe again. And it might be because the air's a bit fresher, or it could just be because my heart is a little bit lighter. It's just quiet here. And even when it's loud, like with the dogs barking, or the birds chirping, or the rooster cawing, that's still quiet because it's natural sounds, whereas you don't have that thrum of traffic, and you don't have that chatter of people, and everybody just moves at a slower pace here. Like, for instance, you don't really have meal times, you just kind of eat when you're hungry. And when I come up here, it's like, I don't have any strings on me. I don't have to impress anybody. I don't have to impress my parents because, well, let's be honest, they're already pretty impressed with me. More than that, I don't have to put on a show. I can just be who I am, and I know that I'm not going to be judged for anything I say or how many times I use the F word. Even though I didn't grow up here, it's still kind of like my home. I think it's probably because it's where my parents are, and that's why it's my home. I guess to put it simply, when I'm up here, I feel free. Sure, my hair hasn't been brushed, and I wear the same clothes for a couple days in a row, and I'm covered in dirt and hair. But interestingly enough, that's kind of how I feel the most comfortable. Dirty. As you can see, it is freaking gorgeous out today. The sun is shining, and the first day of fall is past. A lot of you probably know that fall is my favorite time of year. The trees start turning, and there's that really fresh, crisp smell in the air, and Halloween is just around the corner. October is by far my favorite month of the year. And the whole drive up and the whole time here is just very therapeutic, kinda. It reminds me what's important and what's not important. My TV and my computer and all those other things, they're not so important. Not when I'm up here. And I just sit and relax and listen and watch, even though the beaver won't come out and see me. And that's not a euphemism for something. They actually have a beaver in the reservoir. You can see out past there's the reservoir, and the beaver dam's like in here. But I haven't seen the beaver. He hasn't come out to see me. But I did see their pack rat. He's just sitting there, terrified. Nope, and he's gone. And the best part about coming up here is you return to nature. You pet goats. Hi guys. Really? Really? Whoa. And you play with dogs, and you feed chickens, and you take their eggs and you clean up dog crap, and you enjoy the peacefulness. And I think that this ties in with last week's vlog when I said that I think we need to return to a simpler form of life. At least I know where I want to be. It's just a matter of getting there. And on that note, I'm gonna end this vlog. By the time this posts, I'll be back in the city, back to the grind, hopefully planning my next escape. And I hope to see you again next week for another edition of That Girl Tyson.
General quarters, all hands man your battle stations, all hands man your battle stations.
We can hear the roosters cawing. Pretty loud, eh?